I don't know what to say about this one. I really don't, but I'm gonna give it a try. So far I have reviewed Star Wars The Phantom Menace and Star Wars Attack of the Clones, which everyone deems the worst Star Wars movies. Now we're on to something that it really blows my mind that Lucasfilm even attached their name to this, because how does something like this come from something so fucking awesome? Look at this. Yeah, you've got Obi-Wan and Darth Vader having a lightsaber fight in the first Star Wars movie. Yeah, we have stuff like this, which is so boring and so unneeded and so unnecessary. I mean, I heard that this Clone Wars movie was the prequel or pilot episode to the Clone Wars TV show. I've heard the Clone Wars TV show is very, very good. I've seen the Odd Few episode, enjoyed it. This, how can you make this from the same company that made something so cool? So to start off with, we don't even get an opening crawl, we get narration. Actual narration, and it sounds like the typical sort of, if you've seen an advertisement for action figures for, I don't know, Action Men or something, and it's like, oh, the savior of the world, and it's that sort of thing, and it's telling you about the plot of this movie and the backstory to this movie and what's going to happen. Would have been so much easier to do an opening crawl, so much easier, so much more Star Wars like. We don't even get the Star Wars theme at the beginning properly, anyway. But it starts off fine. I mean, I was thinking it's not great, but the animation's fine and recognizable characters. I don't see how this could be that bad. Samuel L. Jackson signed on for this movie. He's not in it that much, but surprisingly, Samuel L. Jackson and Christopher Lee both signed on to reprise their roles. Count Dooku, like they actually accentuated his facial features, so he's got like this huge nose, and it's just like, surely Christopher Lee would have been offended by this. But no, Christopher Lee and Samuel L. Jackson returns this. Anthony Daniels as well as C-3PO returns this. And I'm just thinking, why? But yeah, the plot of this is that there's a new Padawan called Ahsoka, who I heard is a badass character. In this, she's not, because she's a young lady in this. But I heard she's a badass character in Star Wars Rebels. I have started Star Wars Rebels. I haven't seen much of it. I've seen Season 1, and I heard in Season 2 she's like a badass and she fights Darth Vader, and that'd be cool because she's his Padawan, and it'd be cool to see that happen. But for now, it's just she's annoying and boring, and I want to see her become a better character, is all I'm gonna say. And I'm sure I will eventually. But yeah, it's about that. But at the same time, there's this like threat that the Jedi have to go after, and Yoda and Obi-Wan are like, oh, let's take this clone threat down, and it's just, there's not much else to it than that. It really isn't. I mean, not even the fight scenes are cool. Like, there's about 2 cool fight scenes. There's one with Obi-Wan Kenobi and this sort of assassin who I can't remember the name of, who works with Dooku. And there is a kind of cool fight scene between Anakin and Count Dooku at the end of the movie, where they're sort of throwing down, and the choreography's pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, the rest of the plot is that Anakin and Ahsoka have to protect Jabba the Hutt's son for some reason. Why is Jabba the Hutt even in this to begin with? But yeah, the plot is that they have to protect Jabba the Hutt's son, whose name... The name of the son is Stinky. Fucking Stinky in a Star Wars movie. You call a character Stinky. Like, come on. How can you... I know they're going to try and appeal to kids with this movie. It's an animated Star Wars movie. Surely kids will watch it, yes. But fucking Stinky... You've got all these cool characters. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Even Jabba the Hutt sounds cooler than Stinky. But yeah, you've got Stinky the Hutt. I can't even remember his real name, but either way, they refer to him as fucking Stinky. So you've got this character, and they're trying to get him back to Jabba. And it's like, Jabba's a dickbag, man. Why would you want to even take this kid back to that fat bastard? But yeah, so you've got all that stuff. And like, Jabba and his son look fucking awful in CGI, not gonna lie. They look terrible. They're disgusting. But yeah, and there is this one scene where Ahsoka and Anakin are like walking through the desert, and Ahsoka's like, we could talk about something else. How about we talk about sand? And it's like, right, for a start, are you trying to make fun of the joke of the line that Anakin said in the previous, at least canonical movie? Because if you are, don't try and take the piss out of bad dialogue with more bad dialogue. But at the same time, it's like, why even address that if you're going to try and sort of if we're trying to forget about that thing that was said in that movie, or if you're trying to be clever and just bring up things that were said in past movies, just don't. It's not right. The whole sand thing, it was uncalled for. It was not needed. Please don't. But yeah, I guess the whole dynamic between Anakin and Count Dooku, I guess it at least leads into why Anakin killed him in Revenge of the Sith. The whole do it. I guess it leads into all of that, but it didn't do it for me. Like the whole movie is just one clusterfuck of not making sense. It makes less sense than Attack of the Clones, and that's saying a lot. It really doesn't deserve to be part of the canonical universe. I mean, if the pilot show for Clone Wars is really good, then fine. But this should not serve as a pilot for a really good show if it does. And the worst part about this is that they got a voice actor, right? So they got Sam Jackson and Christopher Lee back for this movie. They couldn't get Frank Oz, so Yoda's in this movie and he sounds awful. I mean, Yoda doesn't really do anything in this movie. I mean, I guess his lightsaber fighting skills are kind of cool, but like I said, I don't like seeing him with a lightsaber. But they couldn't get Frank Oz and they couldn't get, all these actors. They couldn't get Hayden Christensen for this movie, right? And that's what bugs me. They actually managed to cast an actor in this movie, Matt Lanter, who has less of a personality than Hayden Christensen in the role. How do you do something like that? I mean, even the actor who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi has less personality than Hayden Christensen does, and it's like, if that's happening in this movie, then hire Hayden Christensen, because I'd much rather see him as Anakin right now. Nothing about this movie feels like it's leading into the origin of Darth Vader. Same as the last movie. But at the same time, nothing about this movie feels like it fits into the Star Wars universe either, apart from the fact you've got a couple of lightsaber fights. So overall, I'd say don't bother with this one. It's not worth seeing. It's not worth looking at. At least if it's leading into a really cool TV show, we've got that. But I'd say if you like that show and you haven't seen this movie, give it a skip, because it doesn't work as a pilot show. Even though I haven't seen the show itself, I know that this one really just shouldn't be part of that. So let me know what you thought of the Clone Wars. Is it the worst Star Wars movie for you? If it's the best, let me know, but I can't see how. But either way, comment below, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. We'll be talking about Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.